This week saw the government announce an emergency, although they can title it what they want, but an emergency budget. Because, like always, the books just aren't stacking up in the UK. And who's got to pay for it? The taxpayer. In one way or another, we are being bled to death. And so, with this topic in mind, I received a letter this morning that I thought I would share with you. If you're in the UK, I'm sure you're familiar with these, but it is, of course, the BBC's licensing letter. Licensing letter. Now, I always grew up watching the BBC, some of your favourite shows, the comedy, all of the drama shows, and it's been world renowned as a network. But over the lockdown period, for me, I just started to really lose trust in the BBC. I was looking at how they were covering a lot of the major stories, and I just saw complete biasry. I saw what I could only deem as propaganda. And I took the decision that I would no longer have a TV license. I don't watch the BBC anymore. I don't use iPlayer. So I'm not paying for the services. And when this letter came in recently for a license of £169.50 for another year, I just laughed because I haven't paid this in about 4 years. I only consume YouTube. And occasionally, if I feel that there's a need to, I have a subscription to Netflix. I have an Amazon Prime account, so I get some TV from it. But beyond that, I tend to watch old DVDs or I watch stuff online on demand, and that doesn't include the BBC. And I just think that every time this letter comes through, I log on and I fill in that I don't need a TV license. I've been doing that for the full 4 years. And in fact, to add to this, I also stopped Sky TV. I had subscriptions to the football channels, the sports channels up until 2020. And then I just decided that I'd had enough. Sky to me also was declining. The costs were going through the roof. To just watch sports, you either had to have a subscription to Sky Sports or BT at the time, and they've all changed names so many times, I couldn't even tell you who covers the football now. But I know that occasionally it's on Amazon, but again, I don't really have that much interest in it. So I refuse to pay this. I refuse to pay it. And I find that the letters they send you are just comical because they're always filled with these threats. If you're outside the UK and you wonder what this is, it's effectively a license to watch TV. Now, it only covers the BBC. However, if you watch live television of any of the other channels, then you must have a license. So if you watch something as part of normal programming on the likes of ITV or Channel 4, you still have to have a BBC license. And I just find this whole thing ridiculous at this point. The BBC should be able to stand on its own feet. And if it's capable of producing amazing content, people will pay for that content. Or, like me, they will opt not to. But the fact that this is forced down our throats at every opportunity actually just starts to piss me off. It just pisses me off. So I'm not be paying this. Are you like me? Do you still resist the urge to have a TV license? Are you one of the hundreds of thousands that have handed a license back over the last few years and decided that you no longer want to take part in this this taxation to just have entertainment in your house? I'm curious if there's any of my viewers that are watching that feel the same about this. Let me know down in the comments. And when it comes to Sky, I can remember as a kid when my dad first got a satellite dish fitted. It was like a big deal. And we had the most basic package. We couldn't afford movies, we couldn't afford sports. And I'll tell you, I have a fond memory of growing up as a child watching the wrestling on the TV. And you would watch all the big build up matches, and then it would get to the big event like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, and that would be on a pay-per-view, and we couldn't afford it. But back in those days, the channel would be there and it would just be like the snow or white noise on the screen, but you could actually hear it. And I can remember sitting down and listening to major events where I would just hear what was going on from the commentary, but we couldn't actually see it because my dad just didn't have the money. And I was a kid and couldn't quite understand this. So the best that I could get to was watching a snow filled channel with the commentary. And then I can remember getting older and moving into my first apartment, flat, condo, whatever you want to call it, with Avon. When we were 18 years old, we bought a house or a flat together and we moved in. And I can remember us getting Sky. And I can remember at the time it being like £20 a month. And then you added the sports, which was another £20 a month. And then you wanted movies, which was another £20. Then you got internet, then you got phone. And before you know it, the bill was £120 a month. And so I just reached a point where I thought, that's enough of this. Like, it's just so expensive. And we started to move into streaming services. So we might have had Netflix, we might have had the Amazon Prime account. But then, of course, all your favorite shows just started moving to different platforms: Disney, Amazon, Hulu, HBO. And before you know it, if you have a subscription to all of those to watch your favorite programs, suddenly you're spending 150 quid a month when you got rid of Sky because it was 120. You cut the cord, you got rid of the satellite dish, or you cut the cord from Virgin Media or whoever you had coming into your house. You broke free for streaming services, and now look where we are. We've gone full revolution. People are now moving back to traditional sources, going back to Virgin or Sky, or just simply not having it because the costs are too high. So, to the BBC, £169.50, which I believe is about to have another £5 increase due to inflation. So before 2027, this bill will be £174.50 just to turn your TV on at home and watch normal television. Well, I'm not doing it. I haven't done it for 4 years and I won't go back to doing it. If there's something that I want to watch, I'll find it online. If I can't find it online, so be it. I'm so out of touch when it comes to new TV shows, new dramas, things that are going on. I am out of the loop. So let me know down in the comments, do you get one of these fun letters coming through? Do you have your TV license? Or are you one of the many that's decided to just ditch it and stick to YouTube? So if you're watching me here on YouTube on your TV, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. It's Friday afternoon. Seems like a good way to sign off for this weekend's videos. Thanks everyone. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.